Wow. Welcome, everyone. This is the Wednesday evening, December the 1st. This is Lessons from the Front Line. Welcome. This evening, I have to tell you that this has turned into quite the production. I have over here our esteemed engineer, Eddie the Moon Bonner. Back here behind the cloak of invisibility, we have Ilya. And of course, I'm right here, and Jake is running around by my feet. So I do want to welcome everyone tonight. I am pleased to be here. I'm also getting an echo on everything I say. Okay, so if I put this down, you still got me? Can you still hear me?
I just pulled you out. Oh, I just bowed off.
Okay, so I think everyone can still hear me. I want to welcome you tonight. Our topic this evening is one that is very near and dear to me because it just continues to show up so many amazing ways. Our topic tonight is Authentic You, Authentic Reflection. Very much like the reflection in my glasses. Oh, wow. Okay, sorry. I'll go ahead and read the announcement that went out this week. Dear Conscious Dreamers, the mirrors. I love how the reflections of us surround us. So here's the big question. What are you seeing outside of you? We must always remember that this is the reflection of what is going on inside of us and within the collective consciousness. This week's broadcast, which you are now tuned into, will be full of reminders about how it works and how it can be fine-tuned. So, welcome this week. Let's see what has transpired since we were last together, which was, of course, last Wednesday in the broadcast. And what transpired was a most wonderful Thanksgiving. And I hope that this is true for everyone. It was an amazing day for me. I got to spend time with my mother, which was quite special, and some friends of the family. Again, quite nice. And it's just that time that I guess my greatest wish on Thanksgiving for myself and for all of us is that we can really take what we feel on that day and how special we have that day feel and what it means to us and really have that be part of our daily life. We have those of you that have been around Dream the Biggest Dream and myself for a while know about the 21-day conscious creation program. And the very first thing in the morning that you do for 21 days and beyond that is a gratitude list. And it's a gratitude list of 40. You got 40 blank spaces to write what you are grateful for. And so it's such a key aspect of the process of us creating, attracting, and manifesting the life experiences that we really want. And so it's important for us to, really bring that into the equation each day, and not just one day a year on Thanksgiving, but really to be in a place of thanks and in a place of giving at all times, throughout not just the year, but throughout the day and throughout the moments that make up each day. So, how are we doing with all the technical aspects of what's going on?
I say Juicy is asking if she can hear it. I can hear it. I can hear it through the audio on the computer, so
Okay. Everything else is good?
I think can everybody else hear us?
See, I think it's this.
Juicy, are you listening on the phone? Yeah, that's.
So, how's that? Was better. All right. So I'm not sure.
The audio is very loud. The audio is loud on the computer.
I got you. I'm just all right. Well, let's carry on and hope that whatever was better is fixed. Great, fixed. It's great. All right, I gotta love it.
Ta-da!
You know, I don't want to apologize for this because as much as the technical aspects and little hiccups are just that, little hiccups, they represent a tremendous evolution. It has been 6 years, a little over 6 years, that I've been doing a live weekly broadcast. And so it's been 6 weeks that we've been doing a live video broadcast while also doing the live teleconference. And so I got to remember anytime we have issues or these little hiccups or anything like that, that is actually really a great thing because it's a reflection of us pushing our envelope. It's a reflection of us not being complacent, not saying, oh, well, everything's just going fine, let's leave it the way it is. We got to a point where we said, hey, everything's going fine. What can we do to make sure that we're challenged? And boy, we've done it. And I've got to thank you, Eddie, for really stepping up to this. And Ilya, are you back here?
Yep, I'm right here.
All right, excellent. It's like this team effort, and I guess right now this really does take me into reality being a reflection of what's going on inside of us, and then the greater aspect of that the collective reality is a reflection of what's going on with the collective consciousness. But right now, as I sit here, I'm pretty much overwhelmed with gratitude, and I've got two of my most favorite people in the world sitting within 4 feet of me, and I must be doing something right inside myself to have these most beautiful reflections, mirrors showing up in front of me. And then I extend that to all of you that are on the live broadcast right now, that will watch this broadcast at a later time, or will listen to this podcast. I say it every week. I feel it every day. I think I actually do say it every day. I am truly blessed in my life, and it's with just a very full heart that I sit before you right now. This weekend we did a unconditional love activation, which is our signature experience that we roll out at a 40th birthday party. And the co-facilitators this Saturday night here in Orange County were my daughter Maya Ananda, Bliss Within the Illusion, love her so much, and our very good friend Arzu, who is amazing and has been with us at a number of activations, and it was truly a beautiful experience. one of the things that I found was that, hey, is there someone else's 40th birthday?
Iron Icy Identity.
That is Ron from Calgary.
Ron from Calgary, your birthday is on Monday?
It was.
Was on Monday. Ron, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Ron.
Happy birthday.
40 is huge. I mean, not huge. Don't get it wrong.
Ironic identity.
We're really happy that you're here in your birthday week, your birthday month. I take it a step further, your birthday year. I hope the celebration continues on, the celebration of your incarnation. And we did one of these on Saturday night, and this was an interesting experience for me. We have done, well, by the time we close out the year, we will have done 90 activations in 2010. 90. That means for almost...
Every 3 or 4 days, Mark.
Yeah, isn't that wild? So for almost 25% of the year, or it is 25%. Is it?
Yeah.
You're a math guy. Eddie, come on. I'm telling you, you guys are going to be watching this in a year, and this is all going to be so fine-tuned and just the beautiful, smooth process. Of course, at that time, we'll do something to shake it up. But I hope you're enjoying these moments as much as I am. So 25% of this year, I have been, exactly, Wendy, spreading the love worldwide. And this was a most unusual activation on Saturday night. Here's normally what happens with our activations. We promote the heck out of it on Facebook and through all the different channels that we can promote. People show up and they want to be there, and they paid to be there. So Saturday night is my dear friend's 40th birthday party. We are paid to be there, but the people showing up are not paying to be there, and they're really showing up for Faye's birthday party. They're not so much showing up for Dr. Dream and his band of angels doing the unconditional love activation. And so it gets really interesting because there are people that the last thing they're interested in is laying on the floor in this holistic healing center, listening to me for 3 hours doing an activation. And exactly, it's like, I got to tell you that normally it's very quiet, right, Ilya? It's basically just me talking.
Yeah, and everybody's got their eyes closed.
Right, well, here's what we had. We had 4 people talking, giggling, eyes open, looking around, saying, no, no, oil for me, no, no, don't, you're not spraying that stuff in my mouth. And all this, and I mean, it was wild, and yet what I realized is that they were still beautiful reflections of me. And so I went from blessing them, blessing them, blessing them, judging them, blessing them, blessing them, judging them. And it was an absolute trip, but it really did play into tonight's topic and the fact that truly everything that's going on outside of us is somehow related to what's going on inside of us. Now, it brings us back to a concept that I just can't put enough of my attention on and call your attention to, and that is reality is not making something of nothing. Reality is making something of everything. And so what this means is that it's all happening, and it's our filters that are allowing in or not allowing in what it is we're perceiving or not perceiving. And so where do our filters come from? And so this takes us right back to what is our authentic self? How is that pulled together? And you know, what is the definition of authentic self? Of course, this week and all the activity that's going on, I have no quotes for you about authentic self or anything like that. And I guess that is because this week it's about being so authentic myself that I'm not drawing on any other content outside of what's up here. Now, that may scare some of you. It makes me a little bit nervous myself, but
we're standing back, Mark.
right. So I said before that the band of angels here are about 4 feet away from me. They're now 6 feet away from me. It's amazing how the circle seems to expand away from me now. And so this whole concept of being your authentic self, and I take it a step further and say standing in your truth as your authentic self is such an important part of us really tapping into and this process of reflecting back to us what we want reflected back to us. Is that working? I'm hitting it, Eddie?
I can hear your beads jiggling.
Great. Ilya, do you have anything to help me out here?
I think you're doing really well.
Great. You know what? Dr. Dream rocks because he surrounded himself with yes people.
Stick to the script.
That's great. The script. I already read the script. I'm way past that. All right. So here's what I find. In my own experience, I become very much aware of when I'm being my authentic self and when I'm not. And I guess for me it's as much of a feeling. This week's graphic was the caution sign, okay, the yellow caution sign, and what did it say? Reality check ahead. And I love that because it's like, yeah, reality check. And that's how you're finding out if, you know, checking in with yourself in your own reality check. Is this my authentic self? Is this who I'm choosing to be? Or is this a default setting for me and I'm slipping into, you know, some other aspect of myself based on past conditioning, based on pattern behaviors and things like that. And so this is that thing. It's the reality check. Now, I'm really fortunate that I have surrounded myself with not all yes people.
No, sir.
Yes.
All right. I love this. I absolutely love this. Yeah, I think we should do a nightly show like this, the Dr. Dream nightly show, you know, in place of the nightly news. So here's the thing. I have people in my life that, I mean, here's the thing. Even with Eddie, before he was sitting here off on stage left, I would talk to him after the broadcast, and he would say, well, you know, you didn't look that great. You did this, you did that. I mean,
You were drooling.
Right. It's the one thing about Eddie is if I'm feeling just a little bit insecure, I don't go to Eddie and ask him how I'm doing and how did it look and everything, because he doesn't mince words or anything like that. He's like, you know, the shine on your forehead was way overwhelming, and, you know, that shirt, why would you wear that shirt? And it's like, all right. And another one, Ion, Jesse No, has shown up in my life as an amazing mirror for me. And Jesse and I have this beautiful relationship where we don't let either one get away with anything. And it's really important to surround yourself with people that will be that reflection for you, that'll be that mirror for you. Right, Eddie?
I've been in a divorce court, though, Mark.
let's not talk about divorce court. So, authentic self and the reflections. I have to tell you that here, as we're nearing the end of the year, and Ilya, who has become sort of a rock in my ongoing experience as me in my life, has been away for a couple of weeks, and so I don't want to say that things have fallen apart for me, but oh my God, it's gotten so intense. I've been a little bit, I don't know what the word is, maybe discombobulated, unorganized, astray, lost, without a tether, not anchored. Any of those really would kind of fit the bill. And so it's interesting. We're, normally he's playing the role that he so wonderfully takes on to be in service and to be in support of this whole process that we're all doing together. I mean, I've said it over and over again, that we're all in this together, and it's never more apparent to me that that's not just a concept, but it's really needed for us all to own this. What am I trying to say, Eddie? This process of us all being in this together, because I can't possibly do all this on my own. And I realize that, not everyone wants to be here looking at the camera with the camera on them, and wants their voice each week and the stories about their life each week out on the internet for popular or not so popular consumption. And that's a role I'm willing to play, but I'm also willing to have others step up and play their role. And so what I was getting at is, the last couple of weeks I've been traveling, and it's been me kind of doing all this stuff myself. And I have to say, like, it kind of came to a head today when I went to feed the dog, went to feed Jake, and there was no food. And Maya said to me, "Well, I told you this morning that we were out of food." And well, I mean, I didn't register it at all. And so as I'm driving at 10 till the hour, when the broadcast is 40 minutes away and I should be like gathering my thoughts together and everything else, and I'm driving to get dog food for our wonderful dog, Jake, that this reflection of not having the dog food and of just everything not quite being on a solid foundation in that moment at 10 till 6, when in 40 minutes I need to be right here with you guys. that is a reflection of what's going on inside of me. That all this disarray, and you can't see it because we've got black drapes up and we've got this giant crystal here, and you have no idea what goes on behind the scenes here. But we're working on it. And I talked to Ilya today, right, Ilya? And I said, we've got our work cut out for us to really kind of pull this act together, because we got some big plans for 2011.
Yeah.
That's great. I love like one-word answers from the crew when I call on you. Ilya, yeah. Okay.
I remember that conversation.
Nice filler. Oh my gosh. So it really is. I know that when I wake up on the wrong side of the bed, which is the bed that has like the dictionary piled on it, and, you know, a suitcase from my last 2 trips still ready to be unpacked. And I wake up on that side of the bed, and I don't correct it or come into alignment with my experience, or, you know, bring myself into balance, and I start my day off that way. I know that the reflections of what I experienced that day are me being like not quite where I want to be, let's say, in a less than comfortable position. I know, I'm sort of shattering this image you all had of Dr. Dream, discombobulated, thank you, of Dr. Dream waking up and just being like perfectly in alignment and just going through the day, experiencing nothing but reflections of love. But, you know, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm just like you guys. I'm, you know, we are all just the way we are, and we're all working through our stuff. Now, I will tell you that the majority of my days, the reflection outside of me, what is being mirrored back to me, is incredible, intense love. And you know, we look at the numbers right now that by December 31st this year, we will have spent 25% of the year doing unconditional love activations. It makes sense that that's what's being reflected back to me. But I have my days and I have my moments, just like all of us. Hey, I want to ask, who is one creation? Who is this one creation out here? Are you going to type in and tell me who you are? Oh, Billy! Yeah!
Hey, Billy!
Oh, that's awesome. Billy back on the East Coast, and her first time with us on the live broadcast. And so, Billy, blessings to you. Thank you so much for joining us on this part. So it really is a reality check, and more times than not, the reality check is up to you. And I can tell you that in my own life, I chose subconsciously not to be my authentic self. I chose subconsciously not to be on my path. Now, there was a time I sort of chose sort of semi-consciously not to be on my path. We stopped the lessons from the front line for an entire year. And what I experienced during that time and the time right around it was 11 kidney stones in 21 months. And some other just physical manifestations, not to mention what was going on with me physically during that time. So take the time to check in with yourself and in those quiet moments say who I am in my life experience, who I am in my day-to-day interactions. Is that really the deepest level connection of who I am? Is that really who I'm consciously choosing to be? Chances are that that's an area that will be asking for your attention and your intention of fine-tuning. And that's absolutely what I found. You're here listening to this, watching this, for a very specific reason. There's no mistakes about who has shown up for tonight's broadcast and who hasn't, or who's going to watch it in the next week, year, 10 years. 10 years. The
FBI.
Eddie, the FBI. Friendly, beautiful individuals. The point being that that it's about choice, and decisions in each moment. But before you can make choices and decisions in each moment about your authentic self, so the authentic reflection can be exactly what you choose for it to be, you've got to be in a place of conscious awareness. And it sounds like, oh, geez, conscious awareness. There goes Dr. Dream again. He's been doing this stuff for, 20 years, or is he even that old? Anyway, he's been doing this stuff for so long, and then he talks about conscious awareness, but here's where it comes from. Conscious awareness happens in the moment. Conscious awareness happens when you turn off the damn TV set, you turn off the radio, you stop with all the outside distractions. I've said it before, put away the drink, snub out the joint, and just ask yourself, who am I? Who am I choosing to be? What would I really, really like my experience to be about? And when you do that, and you have that dialogue, that conversation with yourself, that's the time. That's authentic. Okay, it's all too easy to do everything I just talked about. It's all too easy to be all tied up in the distractions. Okay, this physical reality is full of distractions, right, Eddie?
What have I become?
Ilya, are there distractions?
Not at all.
I love it. Ilya is just a rock. He is a rock for all of us. But it really is about just setting everything down once in a while, or maybe once and for all. Sorry to rock your boat, guys, with that one. And say, what is this? What's really happening here? I hear Dr. Dream talking each week about the nature of reality. Okay, well, we know that it's the nature of our individual reality based on what's going on inside of us. And what we really know right now is that we need to get really good at working with the nature of our individual reality, because we're being called forth as a collective. Now, I touched on this earlier and in the announcement that went out about this, about the collective consciousness and the reflection of the collective consciousness. So you want to hear what the reflection of the collective consciousness is? War. People, beautiful beings killing other beautiful beings. Another reflection of what's going on in the collective consciousness, pollution. Okay? The air we breathe, the water that we drink, the water that we swim in, or that we would like to be swimming in. But here's the thing about all of that. We can get really down about all that, and we can push against it, but we know something here. We know that you don't change anything by pushing against it. Okay? You push against something, it pushes back. That's the way things work in reality. That's a universal law. Okay? So you can't fight something to change it. You can, though, embrace it. You can have gratitude for it. Look, do you love how I bring things full circle from earlier conversation?
It's amazing. It's amazing, Mark. We got to get him out from behind the curtain.
Ilya's hidden behind a black curtain, and it's just too convenient for him. But it is... Where was I even? I took that break to pat myself on the back. Seriously, where was I?
You were talking about polluters and pushing back and coming full circle. And,
right. What I was talking about is having gratitude for everything in our experience. I'm working with several people. You all know that if you want to do some work with me, just get on the phone and call me. Send me an email. You can start, have a call with me, whatever it is. I'm working with some wonderful people right now. And one of the big lessons is don't push against it. If there's an aspect of yourself that's showing up that isn't so showing up so wonderfully for you, not the way you would like to see it, you need to embrace that part of yourself. You need to really have gratitude. This gratitude list we talk about in 21 Days to Change the Conscious Creation program is 40 items you get to put on this gratitude list. 40 items. And the good thing about this is the good things that you can think of right off the top of your head are like 15 or 20 items. And then it's like, what else? And so I tell people, what are you working on? Well, I kind of get pissed off because I don't have, I lose my patience easily. I'm like, put it on your gratitude list. They're like, what do you mean, put it on my gratitude list? And the point being that as soon as you're not pushing against the fact that you lose your patience, as soon as you're embracing and honoring and having gratitude for that because it's showing you an area for you to work on, okay, you're not fighting it, you're loving it, that's transformation. That's authentic you, and it will be reflected back to you authentically. Now here's something else I say, and I really came up with this at Burning Man this year. Everyone's out there and they're talking about, okay, this is great and I live for this 1 week every year. But when I go back to the default world, boy, I see so much crap. And here's my thought. If you're seeing inauthenticity in the world around you, be it in the people you're interacting with, be it in the governments, be it in the corporations, whatever it is, I'm suggesting that possibly, very possibly, what you need to be looking at is in what ways are you not being authentic in your own world? And if we all took the time to do that, instead of focusing on what every single government politician is doing and what the big corporations are doing, if we just took some time and turned within each of us and said, where am I not living in my truth? Where am I not being authentic? And then did something about transforming it. And how do we do that? Exactly what I just said. Loving those aspects of yourself. Gratitude for those aspects of yourself. Embracing that part of you. And that transforms it. As a collective consciousness, the reflection of our collective experience would change like that. I am sure that this is the way it works. I see it in my own life, and I realize that it's not about my own life because we are all in this together. It's about the greater experience that we're all having. And we get to change that as easily as we can become more abundant, as easily as we can find happiness within ourselves. Because when we find that happiness within ourselves, it's reflected to us outside of ourselves everywhere we look. When we love ourselves, people start showing up nonstop to love us also. So, these are just some of the lessons from the front line for this wonderful time that we're all so blessed to be experiencing together. Now, how about, oh, I like that. Ron's talking about it'll be like the flick of a switch, and that's exactly right. You know, Ron, what I love about that is I say all the time that my life is about being a positive trigger for millions of people. And it is. Trigger. Flip the switch. You know, it's that same thing. And it's not out of the realm of possibility that it all works like this. I mean, we've got to remember how fluid reality is, how magic it all is. When we start to get stuck in, you know, I was going to knock on my head, in this table is solid and so everything in reality is solid and it can't be changed, well, that's when we find ourselves stuck. That's when reality starts to to be that way for us. And I don't think that's the way we want it to be. So, once again, it all comes back to unconditional love for self, and everything branches off from there. And it all comes back to you being empowered to make the changes you want to make in your life, and then to also make those changes that will affect the collective of all of humanity. So,
ironic, identity just got dumped.
Just got dumped? What's that mean?
I don't know.
Ron, what happened to you? Tell us. Billy's getting some lag. Ron's laughing out loud. Oh, your girlfriend just dumped you right now?
Well, you've come to the right place, Ron.
I'm sorry to laugh, but I am reminded of one of my favorite sayings. Censored. I am reminded of one of my favorite sayings, and that is, one door closes, another one opens. So I want you to know that we're with you. We are all in this together. If you want to give me a call, talk about this, we're wide open. We're here. We're a community to love and support each other, even when one of our very own gets dumped while on the, authentic self, authentic reflection thing. By the way, Ron, if we were to dive into that a little bit deeper, what would that mean? Here you are just tapping into the authentic self, the authentic you. And in some sense, I don't know, we didn't get all the details, but your girlfriend or your ex-girlfriend, sorry, has dumped you. So, what does that say? And you said that you asked God to close all doors that should not be open to you, and you asked for that today. And here, 12 hours later, this door of this girlfriend, this ex-girlfriend, is no longer open to you. So, you gotta be careful what you ask for, because it really does work. Wild. It's true. Our prayers are Ron, you keep getting censored by the Ustream chat police. Our prayers really are answered, because what are our prayers? Our prayers are just us placing our order with the universe. I mean, pray to God, place your order with the universe, visualize how you want your life to be, how you want to feel, how you want it to show up, how you want it to look. It happens, people. Ron is a great example of that. You didn't get dumped. You did not get dumped. That's on the surface level, my brother. We don't live on the surface level. What you got is what you asked for. So there's something better that's opening up for you. And, I gotta love that it's all sort of transpiring right now in the authentic you, authentic reflection broadcast. This is amazing.
He's throwing you for a loop, Mark.
I'm not. It's not a loop. This is awesome. All right.
I'd give Ron a break on that one. Let him digest.
No, Ron.
I know there's a flush of emotions that comes at this point in time in your life, and
look,
I know
he sings so amazing. It's all
Yeah.
good. I love this. I absolutely love this. Well, my friends, we could get a little interactive right now, right? We've got a few minutes.
Sure, we have 10 minutes left.
So let's hear from you guys. Can you unmute the phone line?
There's
Okay, perfect. That's perfect. You know what? the whole live thing, you realize why it was so much easier back in the day to do, recorded shows. So here's what I want. I want to know what you guys are going through right now. I want to know what this whole authentic self, authentic reflection, mirrors, what this is all about. Check, check. Can you all hear me? Are you there?
No, I muted and unmuted the phone line. There's no.
Yeah, I can hear you. But let's hear what's going on with everyone right now. Type in so everyone can read it, and I want to know what this whole thing is for you. I mean, is it hitting home, this whole thing that reality is simply a reflection of what's going on inside of you, or is it just a bunch of hooey, being spouted off by some, good-looking guy with a goatee on Ustream?
Is that me or you?
I was talking about Eddie, and he's over here, but you'll never see him. Ilya doesn't have a goatee.
Yes, he does.
All right, so what do we have here? So, one creation, Billy, you've had the most amazing experiences since you met me. Wow, okay, that's a beautiful thing for you to say. Tell me what's going on in your life as far as authentic you, standing in your truth, and reality mirroring back to you. Are you seeing that in your day-to-day? I mean, you're working in Maryland, Baltimore, Washington, D.C., big population center. How are things showing up for you, Billy? And this is where there's a little bit of a lag because she's got to type like all this stuff right now. Here we go. Every day my dreams become reality because of using your techniques and guidance. See, this is great. This is what I want people to hear. I tell people, don't take my word for anything. My goodness, don't take anyone's word for anything. Okay? Listen to it. If it resonates as truth, try it out, play the game, and see what happens. Oh, Billy, unconditional love puts you over the top. Billy flew from way on the East Coast to Orange County to have an unconditional love experience, and I will tell you that particular weekend was a very, very powerful weekend for all of us. All right, so what else we got here?
Flying by fast here.
All right, my juice girl, you are confusing the universe. I said that today. I'll tell you what's happening with me. Here we are looking at a very big travel schedule. On one hand, for 2011, it requires me taking my daughter out of school quite a bit, and I find myself sending out mixed messages to the universe, sending out some messages here, sending out some messages here, and so I got all things going out there, and what's happening is it's coming back to me all scattered, absolutely all scattered. My sponsor down in South America has not gotten back to us, and I'm like, of course she's not getting back to us because I'm like on the fence about whether, I want to take Maya out of school for 6 weeks to go to South America. These are the things that are happening, and so what do you have to do? Get off the fence and get into a real decision process and say, this is what I want to do. We got Ron talking about birthing into fluidity from duality, so confusion and lack of focus are a result of that switchover. Hey, for me, it's just a lack of making up my mind. It's just a past pattern of kind of like, oh, do this, do that, oh, I don't know, just literally sitting on the fence. And what's happening now is these are the manifestation times. Right now, this is the time in the planets for us to really be manifesting whatever it is we want. And we are manifesting whatever it is we want in each moment anyway. It's just really happening in a very more powerful way right now. And if we're not really focused on one path or the other, then it's showing up that way. Rapid pace. That's exactly right. The flow of love to your dream comes from within. That's right. And so you've got to, and what are you saying right there, Billy? You're saying focus on what your dream is and then flow the emotion to it, own it, live in the now, and manifesting exponentially. Love it, love it, love it. You guys are great. Well, so many dreams. That's right, so many dreams. But work that 21-day program. Write out those visualizations each morning. I mean, this is why I created a program that's like, it's a fill in the blank, people. You know, anyone can do this. What do you got to say, Ilya? What's happening with you over there?
I'm just reading the chat and following what you're saying.
How's it working for you?
It's working really well. I think that, you know, I'm liking what I'm hearing, and I think that I'm going to continue with this process.
So, Ilya, tell me, you just spent 2 weeks in New York City, back in the not really the homeland is Russia, but back where you spent a lot of time growing up. What were the reflections like? What was going on for you back there?
Well, when I went back there, I noticed that a lot of my old patterns started to come back, the patterns that I was dwelling on when I was still living there. And after a few days of going through these old patterns, I realized that, you know, I have a choice and I don't have to be repeating these patterns. And so in that moment of realization, I made the choice, and that choice just completely shifted my reality. And that's all it really takes. It's that small shift in reality, you know, manifested by that one choice in that one moment.
So the big shift was you know, again, reminding yourself, hey, it doesn't have to be that way. I slipped back into a pattern, went back to where I was from, and it allowed me easily to slip back into a pattern without even thinking about it. But then once you put your awareness on it, you were able to then realize, hey, wait, this is me. This is my stuff. I get to work with this how I choose to work with it. Now, I may choose not to work with it, and then I'm, in a sense, still working with it, just not consciously. But you made a conscious choice, and you did this shift, and you came back 2 weeks later with some amazing stories of personal transformation.
Right, and those 2 weeks going back to New York, just being in a space of, you know, where my old patterns were, and being with people that, you know, aren't at a level of consciousness that, you know, I'm around here, has really shifted my perspective on the world and allowed me to see that, you know, I can be myself anywhere, and, you know, it doesn't matter where I am.
That's it. And that's the other thing, you know, wherever you go, there you are with all your stuff, whatever it is, you know, whatever it is, whatever you take with you, it's not going to go away. And some places that we go to, and I just came back from Omaha, where I'm from, and some places, you know, are a little easier for us to slip into our stuff. Whale Shark, you just went on a trip to Las Vegas, where I bet there were plenty of triggers for you, begging for you to slip into past behavior patterns that no longer serve you, and you came out of it like a star. You want to just chime in a little bit on that? Okay, got the confirmation. I am correct about that. And you know, I know I'm so connected with so many of you, and you are beautiful reflections of all that my life is about and what's going on with me, that I get to, you know, learn and experience through you. And so I totally honor that. And thank you so much for showing up in my experience also. You know, sometimes you all get all a little bit, you know, like, oh, you know, you're always there for us, Dr. Dream, and this, that, and the other thing. But, you know, what you don't understand is by me being there for you, you're being there for me. So we truly are in this together. And, yeah, I love this. Whale Shark walked through it all with a clear mind and an open heart, because that was the focus of your attention when it could have gone in a very different direction. So, wow, I like this part. We're going to get this interactive part of all this down, and I love being there 24/7 for all of you. You know, I'm here. Go to drdream.com, drdream.com. Download the 21-day conscious creation program. It's $4.50. It helps us out quite a bit. That can get us, you know, 1.5 gallons of gas and get us another, you know, 30 miles down the road. I want to thank everyone for being here tonight, for your great comments, for putting up with some of our technical stuff and me not always looking at you. Eddie was telling me before, I was like looking over at Ilya while he was talking, and Eddie's like, that's not what you do on a live thing. Although the back of my neck is really good looking. So anyway.
You need a trim.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much. This has been a really wonderful broadcast. We're catching our stride here. We'll be back next week. Eddie, will you be with us again next week?
I hope to be.
All right, and Ilya?
Of course. I will be here always.
Excellent. Everyone's going to be back, and we hope all of you are going to be back. And by all means, we'll be posting this on Facebook here in the next few minutes. Send it out to your people. Let other people see what this whole lessons from the front line is about, and all of that. And it is with tremendous love and gratitude and just heartfelt emotion that I thank you and I bless you. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, and please share this amazing energy that we each have within us, available to us at any time, with all the people that are around you. May all the reflections and mirrors in your reality be of love and gratitude. Good night, everyone. Thank you.